I did a review of my rental car in Las Vegas, but I lost everything on that review when I had problems with my micro SD card in the camera. So that review is lost. So I want to still review the car. Anyways, I want to show you my receipt for lease so you know that I did lease the car. I call it a lease, but I didn't. It's renting the car. So that's the picture of the Cadillac XTS I rented for 5 days in Las Vegas. The one I rented was not silver, it's like a dark gray, 4-door. I have to say about the engine performance, and I know rental cars companies do not put high-powered engines in their rental cars. So they put average engine. I don't know what this engine was in the Cadillac XTS, and I think this is like a 2016, 2017 car. But it had plenty of power. It had plenty of power to get away from a light and plenty of power for passing on the highway. The car was comfortable, had leather seats, and it had navigation. But it did not have the premium navigation. It was some kind of basic navigation, but it was navigation. It was almost impossible to use the navigation. Like I wanted to put in going to a certain casino somewhere. I could not find any way to put it in. I guess if I owned the car and I had plenty of time to study it, I would figure it out. But renting the car, you don't have that much time. And you're trying to do it while you're driving or you're coming in and out of a casino. The only way I could use this navigation that came with the car was points, to touch the point on the screen where I wanted to go. But the problem with that is you may know where you want to go, but you don't know where it's located. If you don't know where it's located, forget this navigation. It's not going to take you anywhere. So the basic navigation on this Cadillac XTS was what I call a flop. The other problem I had with the car was on the dash, in the center console, were all the controls, the buttons for like temperature and fan and whatever, radio, etc. In the daylight, you could not read this thing. It was all blacked out. And it was totally non-intuitive. I wanted to get back to the main screen so then I could go like to the radio. You couldn't get around on this thing. It was a total waste. And also, this is the strangest thing I've ever seen in a late model car. I didn't get satellite radio because I'm not that much interested in music, but I wanted a little music. This car only had AM music, and it was all full of static. There was no FM music on this radio. I've never been in a car before that only had AM radio. But on the positive side, the car ran quiet. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the body style of this Cadillac XTS. I found it to be much more impressive than a Lincoln. What is it, MKZ? Because I've been looking at that. There's no comparison. In this category right now, in these years, Cadillac has Lincoln beat out in the design. Lincoln looks are a dud in this series. Cadillac beats them all the way. The gas mileage was worse than average. When I go to Las Vegas, I about do the same thing, drive the same mileage. And in my other cars, which were smaller, I only had to put gas in the car when I returned it. With this Cadillac, and it burns more gas, I had to burn an extra half a tank just to do the same driving as I did before. In summation of this Cadillac XTS, the negatives were the basic navigation useless, the controls on the center console in daylight totally useless, only AM radio, cannot maneuver around the screen whatsoever. The positive side is, at least in this rental car, I had a backup camera, and I had sensors in the back and sensors in the front, which told me when I'm about to bump into anything, which I appreciated. The ride was great. I enjoyed the leather seats, and the car was very good looking for driving around Las Vegas.